Hello and welcome to the table, folks. Welcome to Slanted Dice. Welcome to our first ever streamed session of our D&D game. We are 2 men down today. Our dwarven friend Frion couldn't make it. He's sick and has a little bit of issues with all the drinking that went on last week's episode, if you've listened to that. And we're also missing a Kadir who might make it or not. We'll see. Quickly, before we start, I want to mention our giveaway, which is still running till this weekend. Today, Tuesday 18th, it's going to be running. Oh God, let me get my calendar up. It'll be going up till Friday, the 22nd. And we will be choosing a winner on the weekend there. So if you want to win an amazing set of a handmade D20 and D8 by GG Dice, be sure to check out our links on our Instagram, Twitter. It's all over the place. Go there and check it out on our profile to enter. We also have an amazing set of discount codes, which you can also find. For those watching the stream right now, also check out our social media. And for those either watching the VOD or listening to the podcast, it'll be in the show notes and descriptions there as well. Also for this week's episode, we have a sponsor, RPG Scenery, the nice scenes you see in the background, the nice animated bits and pieces, and also maybe the odd battle map you might see either tonight, depends on how chaotic the crew is, or maybe definitely in the future. It's powered by a very, very amazing tool of theirs. So check out RPG Scenery. They have a really cool Patreon as well. Be sure to check them out at patreon.com/RPG Scenery. And also you can find those links in our show notes. And as always, Easy Roller Dice has been giving us a good turn of fortune. So another thanks to them. Good. To catch us up on what happened last week, we had the great imbibement, the imbibing session that went on. Anybody want to do a quick summary of the events that took place there?
Is anyone able to?
Can anybody recall what happened?
Can't remember shit.
I lost.
And you were the first to pass out, I believe.
Oh,
as well.
Yes, and I lost. I lost the bet, and I lost all my bodily functions, and
Yeah. So our crew of the Undecided decided to take part in a drinking contest in a local tavern here in Saltmarsh. Called the Empty Net, because most of their crew from their ship, the Indecision, had lost a lot of money going to exactly that tavern and doing what you guys did, taking part in a drinking contest, betting on the wrong folks, losing. So you decided to win back some stuff. But the happy evening took a little bit of a turn when suddenly some of the Revellian kingsmen of the Empire of Revelia walked in, drenched in rain, which has been plaguing the night outside, holding up some parchment to a few individuals, asking around if they have seen these figures, and these parchments, those figures have vaguely resembled a few of you. They've resembled Frion. They've come close to Tiala's statue, and also Kadir. So with that information, you've made your way stealthily back outside into the night. The gold you won was happily taken by Captain Flesky, Quartermaster Fudge, Fritz, and the rest of the boys back to the ship. You've made your way to the Black Brew Mansion. Blackwater, who's taken, who did not take part in the drinking contest, but instead tied up a few took a day off to tie up a few loose ends here and there, taking care of some business since this is his hometown. Had also told you that he's going to be meeting you here whenever you guys chose to come back. So this is where we jump in tonight. The rain smashing down on you. You make your way hastily without being noticed by these odd bits here and there of the Kingsmen who are still walking the streets with torches and asking random locals, showing up what looks to be these same parchments, asking around about, inquiring about some of you. You make your way into the mansion, the Blackwater estate, and you already see that Fosco, Blackbrew's father, is hastily running around. You see he's kind of like cleaning his hands a bit. That looks to be almost like as if he has some blood on it. And seeing you come in, he says, "Oh yes, come in. Shut the door, please. I'll be right with you. Alton is in the back. Eleni returned from her trip and she hasn't been faring so well, it seems." And he immediately skitters off to a back room. At the same time, also, Freon and both Kader kind of still feeling the alcohol taking its toll, even though both of them got I think was a lesser restoration, Tiala, you gave them. They are going to be immediately retiring to the guest room, just saying, "We'll have to speak about whatever happens in the morning," but they are beat and they are making their way back. So what are the rest of you doing?
I was just wondering if the cold rain and the walk home worsened our state, as it sometimes is when you've imbibed a lot, or have we has it helped sober us up?
Yeah, for those that have not been touched by Tiala's lesser restoration spell, it definitely helped. Walking outside, breathing in that fresh, salty night air of the docks as well. And your head is clear, but you still have a headache.
Okay.
And you're definitely not hungry for anything.
No.
I'm gonna rush to Eleni and see if I can help somehow.
Okay. Walking into the room, you already see sitting next to her Blackwater, holding her hand. You see she is kind of like has her head bandaged a little bit, and a slight little smile flickers up as she recognizes you walking in. She looks almost like you see her parts of her face almost as if she's bruised on one side of it. And you also see her like coughing a lot and breathing raspily as well.
What happened?
Yeah, what happened?
She says that she was surprised by the Hool folk, and I guess they caught her off guard and just like managed to get the upper hand.
Now, Alton, I can speak for myself.
No,
it's
you
not
have
like
to
you're
rest.
sitting
have to
on my
rest.
deathbed or anything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was able to gather a few of the swamp orchids, but on my way back, the Hools kind of surprised me a bit. I was able to escape, but I think that even the protection I was using was not enough to keep some of the Hool Fever at bay, and they've bruised me pretty hard. I'm at my wit's end.
You need to rest. Now let me get you some tea. And I just hop off to the kitchen.
I kind of follow.
Hool Fever, but maybe I can try to heal your wounds.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Blackwater to the kitchen to be able to talk with him.
Okay. Sure, Tiala. What are you trying?
I don't know. Does she have like visible scars? I guess if she's got.
It's not. Yeah, it's less scars, but mostly just like a bruise here and there. One of her eyes looks a little bit like swollen. That's where the bandage is covering it up. It looks like make a medicine check for me.
23.
23. You definitely get the sense that on the surface she's took like maybe a few hits trying to escape from the Hool folk, but you see the same symptoms that you also saw on yourself and also Frion and Kader a few days back. You see her like sweating a lot. Her breath is going quickly, but also her voice sounds kind of raspy when she talked. And you definitely get the sense that it's not the wounds on the surface that are causing her issues, but more of the Hool Fever that is slowly taking a hold of her inside her system.
I'm still gonna cast a healing word at 3rd level.
Okay.
Just to get rid of the bruising.
You concentrate and focus the arcane energy, and it goes through, moves over to her, and you see her already like kind of just giving off this sigh of relief, and you see that on the surface now, the bruises, they definitely heal instantly and very quickly. But you still see her like she looks kind of exhausted. Lying there in the little bed. At the same time, while Blackwater and Branwolf, while you're in the kitchen, you also see Fosco coming back with like a small little bucket and a sponge, moving into the room and looking out of the not really the windows in the kitchen. They are not like clear, but more of this kind of, also not milky, but what's it like, this slight distortion you have,
like bottle glass.
Yeah, exactly.
Like bottle
and
glass
you kind of see outside every now and then you see this light of a torch walking by down the road.
Okay. I want to ask Blackwater, Alden, do you think you or your father can brew up something with the orchids that your mother brought back, so that, or is there something else that we can do to help save her?
I mean, not myself, no, but I'm pretty sure that my father could do something. I mean, they do have experience with these cases, so yeah. Mm-hmm. Although she did say she's still missing something for the cure, I believe. Or maybe she was just talking nonsense. I don't know. Oh, by the way, let me get you something for your hangover as well. And I'll get like gladly. Just simple, I don't know, raw eggs and I don't know, sardines in a cup.
Right.
Okay.
Tiala, you see Fosco coming in and starting to like use the damp sponge to get a little bit of the sweat off her forehead, and she kind of like leans over to you. Alton isn't there, saying, "Fetch me my son. There's something I have to tell them, and the rest, I need you to leave the room for a minute or two."
Okay, I'm gonna go and get Blackwater.
Okay.
And drink coffee with the barbarian.
Yeah, we're gonna have a cup of coffee and sardines.
It helps.
All right.
I think.
Good. You coming back inside?
No, didn't she say she wants...
Blackwater.
Yeah, I'm. As soon as I hear that, I just run. So.
Yeah, you see her, the slight little smile also coming back into her face, and she looks to Alton and says, "It's time, Alton." Sorry, Fosco. She looks to Fosco and says, "It's time, Fosco.
Don't scare me.
Please clear. Close the door." And Fosco also exits the room, leaving just you with your mother.
What's going on?
And she looks you in the eye and she says, "I hoped it would never come this far, Alton. I wanted to keep this all a mystery from you and not burden you with any extra burdens you already have in your young life. I was hoping that I would be able to brew the aureus nectar for your friends by myself, and also be able to get everything I need myself. But it seems I need your help.
Damn it, I told you we would help you with that. You didn't have to do it yourself. What do you need?
You have to understand, Alton. You've probably heard of the several cases of Hool Fever that have been rising recently. That is because I don't have the ingredients I need to brew the aureus nectar. I've been meaning to make the journey back to the Dreadwood, but it has been literally dreading me. But now it seems I might not have the strength to go there. When I was pregnant with you, your father was one of the earliest cases of the Hool Fever. Back then we didn't know what it was, and I was young and stupid, pregnant with a boy and in love, and he was dying, and I didn't know how to heal him. Me, one of the greatest alchemists in all of Burl, and I couldn't find a healing ointment or anything similar for him. So I ventured into the Dreadwood, where folk normally don't tread, trying to find new ingredients that might be of help. And that is when I met her. I met a hag called Granny Nightshade, and she offered me a solution to all of this. She offered me a part of her heartstone that would be able, if used correctly, to brew the concoction we today call the aureus nectar to get rid of this Hool Fever. But the hag wanted a terrible price for herself. She said anybody who is not cured within the next blood moon, which usually happens each month here on Dread Parish Isle, they would slowly fall ill and wander off towards her realm into the Dreadwood. Now, with the cases of missing persons here and there increasing, and the next blood moon being in a couple of days, it's more urgent than ever that I get this heartstone back from her again. I would usually make this trip once a year to refresh my stock, but I hate going there and visiting her. I keep getting reminded each year, again and again, of this terrible pact deal I made, but there's no way out from it. And now I just don't think I have the strength to go back. And you remember I always told you to not venture too far, to not go close inland to these woods, and it breaks my heart that I now must ask this of you, since not only me, but also your friends are suffering, and they might become victims of the hag as well, if we are not able to heal them until the next blood moon.
We'll get there. I don't think it's going to be an issue for us to get there. I think
certainly hope.
It's an issue that you're only telling me this now. Why did you wait so long?
Because I've been able to keep this vicious cycle going ever since, and your father and I agreed. It was the first thing after I was able to cure him, and we were able to cure so many more from the locals here in Saltmarsh and the area around, but we didn't want to burden you. We wanted to live, to have you and also your sister, mothers. We wanted to just have you kids live your life and not be burdened with something that would keep you fastened to your hometown.
You would have to give us this, what would end up being a tradition eventually anyway. I mean, someone has to keep doing this in order to be able to heal people. The Hool Fever.
I know. I've been thinking about this for 38 years without coming to another solution other than killing this Granny Nightshade, and she is a cruel, dangerous being. And whatever you do, if you go there, do not make any deals with her, or else you might also just end up ruining your life. But I don't know what other end there would be other than to just killing her off, but she's too powerful. She's an ancient being who predates all the way back into the first primal age. All of the stories of hags and other foul beings from the Dreadwood are based and sourced on her, I'm sure of it.
Honestly, I don't think it's going to be a problem. Have you seen the size of that barbarian? I mean...
She kind of like laughs a bit to herself. I don't want you to bring your friends into even greater danger than they already are.
That's what they live for. All right.
Well, maybe there is some other way we can solve this. Maybe... I think your best bet would probably be to head in the direction of Burl, take the old coast road inland, which already brings you far too closer to the Dreadwood than I would ever hoped you to go. But maybe ask around there. Maybe we haven't had that much word from Burl in quite some time. I'm guessing it's due to the rising cases of this sickness spreading the land. More so now than ever. But I don't know, Alton. I'm at my wit's end. It's either go there and continue this vicious cycle or just kill something that cannot be killed.
We have done that in the past. And we will find a solution one way or another. What you need to do right now is stop worrying so much and just rest. We'll take care of it as soon as we can.
Yes, I think I will do that. You tell your father to take good care of you, and I will just sleep. And you also see her already, like, in the instant her eyes close and she just drifts off, exhausted, with worry and also a slight relief lifted from her heart, being too able to get this off the chest, as you're sitting there now in silence next to her.
I just silently get up, get out of the room, and close the door behind me.
All right. You see Fosco kind of looking at you as you come out, as he's been standing next to the door. Well, kind of like nervously almost, just looking at you. Well, son, now, you know.
I high-five him. To try to lighten up the mood a bit.
He puts up his hand. Now, you know, it's something your mother would usually not do anything like this, but she's tried the best her can. And I think anybody in her situation would have tried to save those they love, wouldn't you?
I think both of you made the right deal, honestly. Even if it means...
To be honest, I just became sick. I didn't make any pact or
that's
anything,
true.
But yes, I know what you mean, son.
Yes. But no, that's the thing. I feel like she made the right choice, and I would have done the same, like sacrificing, what is it, half a day or a full day every year to get this crucial ingredient to save tons of lives of people.
To be honest, her venture into the Dreadwood, it's not half a day. To get to the Dreadwood,
alright, even if it's a whole week of travel,
would usually
it doesn't matter.
Gone a week or two at times.
It does not matter.
But I would be worried sick, of course.
I do this for a living. I've been further away in lands that, I don't know, I wouldn't ever want to go back to. It doesn't matter. We will... Wait, when's the next blood moon exactly? Actually, no, wait. Before you answer me, because this concerns everyone, let me go back. Why don't you join us?
Hang on, before you do anything, and you see him wandering off into the pantry, and you hear like this, and it, who drank the peppermint schnapps? Kind of like screaming out of the room.
Let's discuss that in group. Let's get
and
all
he
together.
kind of like gets that bottle and a few little cups. Well, thank God I still had some stored away from your mother. And he kind of like goes into another cupboard on the side, getting a fuller bottle as well,
There
and
should
putting
be
that on the
10
table.
gold pieces in there, sir. Because
those were from you then, okay.
yeah, well, Kader and I were thirsty, and we wanted to get in the mood, and we hoped that you wouldn't mind, but I'm glad that you still have some extra. But hide it from Kader.
So yeah, he kind of like puts it out on a table in the kitchen where you guys already are. And well, yeah, I don't know, Alton. You probably have some things to tell to your friends. And he starts pouring out the stuff.
None for me, please.
Doesn't go well with sardines.
I smell the whiff of the sweet.
Doesn't go well with
peppermint.
sad news.
Oh no!
Or sad news, actually, yeah. No, it's not.
Also.
Well, yeah, it's partially sad news, but I feel like this is way too sad because we know of a permanent solution, and I feel like this is what our group specializes in: killing people.
Good. All right, let's get started.
So
let me sharpen my blades.
I know that you know the place that Freon wanted to go to like really badly.
Yeah.
We basically have to go there because some kind of super old hag has some ingredient that my mother has. My mother needs in order to concoct this beautiful cure for the Hool Fever, and she kind of needs to go back every year. But I think if we, or at least from what she said, if we kill the hag, I mean, the problem is solved. I think we will basically get a decent supply or a continuous supply of these hard stones.
Remembering from my Skilfing tales, and hags, weren't they? Oh, is it sure that's just one? And it's not a coven?
Make a...
Yeah. Let me make a history or...
No, this would actually be an Arcana check.
Oh, me and Arcana. Well, okay, my big.
I could. Should I help? Should I help? Well, I don't know what you want to say, so I don't know.
No, well, I'm just wondering that because I don't know if Brandwolf would know this, but I know this, that hags usually are in covens. It's almost hags. It's almost like harpies and stuff. That they're always. I think at least 3 of them. But let me see.
I'm just
roll an Arcana check.
Okay, let me roll. 14 minus 1 because I have a minus 1 in Arcana. That's a 13.
That's still enough for some basics.
Okay.
Hang on a second here. Let me check something very quickly. So nope, that's not it. So yeah, what you usually, I mean, the stories you've been told as a baron, as a wee lad, you know that hags, there's like all sorts of different stories. There's like stories about, the usual, the hags take naughty children in the night. There's some stories, it's unsure for what the Skilfing often believe that the hags usually eat the small child and leave in its wake some kind of doppelganger that then kind of corrupts a tribe and clan from within. There are several stories also that hags usually work in covens, and that these are ancient beings. They are considered fae. They are very, very ancient fae coming from the Feywild. wielding like the same kind of similar magic as well. It is said that hags usually are working in these covens of 3, and it's always 3. It's not less and not more, so that there's never a trifle or an indecision among them. So it's always, that's why it's always 3. What you from the way Blackwater, I'm assuming Blackwater, you told this to them?
Yeah.
I basically conveyed everything that...
Relayed everything? Yeah. Basically, from the way Blackwater was telling it, though, this particular hag, this Granny Nightshade, as she calls herself, seems to be working independently. Mm-hmm. And your mind either goes to, well, that either means maybe you don't know who the other 2 are, or she might even predate that. Oh. She might be something far more ancient and powerful, having maybe other things in her command, similar stuff to that. Usually hags work with other beasts and monsters that they kind of employ, either as guards in their realm, protectors, similar things like that. And also Blackwater, with that information that's being passed between you and Branwolf at this point, you're also thinking that with all the stories you've heard growing up on Dread Parish Isle that are like revolving around the Dreadwood, actually I can also put you let me pull up the map for you guys as well from Dread Parish Isle in total here. There we go. From revolving around the Dreadwood itself is that you normally it's often that the kind of Dreadwood kind of has a very twisted appearance, and usually what is known, the area, like the outskirts of it, is usually only patrolled by certain like rangers, either of the Rebellion Empire in recent years, or also locals from Burl that kind of try and keep the roads, like the old coast road, safe. But these outskirts, they reach in far deeper, and it is said the deeper you go into the Dreadwood, the more unlikely it becomes you'll ever see sunlight again and venturing back out, and it becomes more twisted as you walk in further, and the stories kind of leave off at that point as well. And your best guess is always what other sailor grandmothers have said, is that there's nobody left to tell of any stories of from within the nexus of the Dreadwood, because people who venture that far don't come back out.
Sure.
Oh boy. Okay. So, we got a mighty being, which we have to kill to be able to save everyone else, especially your mother. And we have, at least some of us, looks like I'm innocent. I didn't see my picture on any wanted posters, but it might be that I just didn't see the right one.
Yeah, you didn't see any of yours. No. That's true.
Yeah. So, but what I'm saying,
did I see the posters like when coming back to the estate?
You did not. You did not see any posters themselves, because you did see that there was some commotion going on. There was some people running around hooded. They seemed to be wearing armor from the way it sounded, like the clanking noises they made. But you weren't stopped, because you ventured like right back home, and you as soon as your father contacted you, you helped your mother get back inside.
So if we want to, well, first of all, we have to see that everyone's rested, because I don't think just the 3 of us should head to the Dreadwood. We're going to need a rested Kader. We're going to need a rested Freon, and we're going to have to sneak out of town without getting caught.
Yeah, it's not going to be like in whatever the hell. What was the place called? Like it's just a few people that we have to avoid. Maybe just put some cowls on. That's it.
Yeah, well, we're very, very, very lucky to have made it back. You didn't see that they were really looking, and definitely, yeah.
But I think I counted 7 of them.
Yeah, you
And
counted
maybe
about
I
7 on your way back, I believe.
Yeah. And maybe I can sneak out as a dog before we leave and just scout the area and
Yeah.
come back and tell you if it's clear to go.
It's I don't think that's going to be a problem, to be honest.
Also, I think only Freon, Kader, and me are a problem so far because I only saw us on the parchment.
Yep, that's
So-
what you made out in the tavern as they were shown around.
And we've got a disguise kit. I think Kader has one.
That's also true, yes.
Don't think we need one, but sure, yeah.
Yeah, I
mean,
think it's enough if I go scout a little
Yeah.
bit ahead.
Okay, but the thing is, we kind of should depart. Well, as soon as possible would be nice, but hey, Dad.
I think we should sleep, but we can start
Yeah.
early in the morning.
Yeah, we should.
Well,
we should.
let me just wait. Dad, when exactly is the next blood moon?
Well, the next blood moon should be probably, I think, 6 to 7 days from now.
Okay, we've got
But how the fuck are we supposed to go down into the whatever woods, the Dreadwoods, and
Dreadwood,
come
yeah.
back here in time?
I don't know.
Usually, what you know, Blackwater, the journey to Burl itself, or at least towards the outskirts of the Dreadwood, takes around, if there's no problems, 3 days. If you hurry up, maybe a bit less, maybe 2.
Do we have horses in Saltmarsh?
Yeah, you've seen horses, sure.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You don't have any.
No, but given the money
So,
that
yeah.
you guys
Yeah,
probably
but-
won.
Yeah, we got enough money.
At this
With
moment, you
Kader.
hear there's like a heavy boom, boom, boom on the front door.
I turn into a dog.
I
Can you
grip my hand axe and give my worst impression of Mama Blackwater, saying, "Who is it?"
Again, the knock comes. Dun, dun, dun. The name of the Empire, open up.
Fuck.
Ranulf, can you cover the 2 sick people?
Yeah,
They're off in a bed in the guest room so far.
I'm on it.
Okay, thank you.
I'm on it with drawn axes, standing behind. I close the door quietly and just wait for somebody to bring in their stupid head.
Okay, yeah.
I
I'll
just wait by the door like a good dog.
Yeah, you're a good dog, and Alton's not being looked for, so he should be there.
exactly. I'm just gonna open the door like just a bit and peek my head around. And
Yeah.
Snyder's Return is a tabletop role-playing podcast featuring interviews and a D&D 5e actual play adventure, so you can learn about different game systems and content creation, while also listening to us disrupt everyday life on the Sword Coast. We release episodes every Tuesday and Thursday on your podcasting platform, so come join us as we improvise, adapt, and overcome.
You open the door. You see, clad in what looks to be, like a half-plate armor with a outside. It's like pouring currently. It's pouring rain. They're wearing like this dark cowl above their head. You see what looks to be a soldier of the Rebellion Empire, like a proper knight. He has like a big shield on his back. He has a longsword strapped to the side. He's holding some pieces of parchment in his hand that are already like completely damp from the rain. You see the crest of the Empire on his chest, this kind of like skull-like emblem, which head kind of turns up into these 5 spikes, just resembling this crown skull almost. You don't see a face because he's actually wearing like a full helmet beneath this his cowl, and you see a little bit of the breath pouring through in the cold of the damp night. And he says, "Excuse me for this late disturbance. We are currently doing an investigation. Have you seen any of these 3 individuals?" And he holds out these few pieces of parchment in front of you. You do recognize they are like very crude caricatures that kind of resemble a dwarf, a half-elf, and a female, very like elvish looking lady, and there's like an undeniable resemblance with Frion, Kader, and Tiala, but probably you're guessing only because you know them and how they look, but you can definitely see some sort of resemblance going on.
Okay, I take like half a minute to study each of them, and
he's just standing there with like a torch in his other hand.
Yeah, I'm
Take all the time you need, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm not letting him in.
Yeah, he's standing outside. It's just showering.
Be good to know what they're looking for.
You see that one of his hands, after handing you the parchment, is kind of resting on the pommel of his longsword.
I want to take my hand and like rest it on the pommel of my gun, just very subtly, you know.
All right.
I turn to him and just say, "No, I may have seen someone somewhat similar to," and I point at like the picture that's supposed to resemble Kadir, on a ship that actually departed today. I can't say.
Can you
for
remember
sure.
the name of the ship, sir?
Oh no, I was barely paying attention. No, during the drinking competition, I don't remember anything.
You were present at the drinking competition in the empty net that took place this evening?
For 20 minutes?
You now see also in the background, slowly riding up the road, another figure, looking a bit different though. You see also cloaked in this large cowl, on a black horse, almost like a black rider. Peeking out underneath the cowl, you see what resembles to be just like an iron mask, very neutral, very plain. It has a few little details worked in, but it's hard to make out anything in this rain. Not like carrying a torch or anything, but he's just sitting there in the background on the road, just standing there waiting. You guess for the other soldier to return. Roll a deception check for me, please.
I would rather not, but
What's the dog doing? Just sitting there next to
interested, like woofing a little bit.
Okay.
Woofing.
oh fuck. That's an 8 in total.
An 8 in total. This is the Black Brew residence, correct? You are Mr. Fosco Black Brew, I assume?
No. I'm Alton Blackbrew is my name.
Alton. And you kind of like see him putting out another piece of parchment
Dang it!
Oh no.
with some like quill. He's like, oh, God damn it! All in this rain, and he's just trying to scribble something onto it. You cannot remember the name of the ship, are you correct?
Correct. Unfortunately, I do not.
Well, we will have to see. We are looking for these 3 individuals. Apparently, they've arrived a couple of days ago here in this town, and have been seen using some sort of, and he almost like spits out the word, some form of magic.
Oh.
Which, of course, a display such as this, our very merciful king does not look too kindly upon. If there's any further inquiries, we will be sure to contact you again in either tomorrow or in the next couple of days. So please stand at the ready. We might be back.
Yes. Let me just warn you that we are having a bit of an... I want to call it a controlled outbreak in this estate of the Hool Fever, and I would advise against...
He immediately steps back a few steps from you.
Cough.
Looking kind of like, keep the paper, sir. Maybe it'll jog the memory further.
All right, thank you.
To you, a good night, sir. Under his eye. And he kind of like turns around, and you see him, like, as you're slowly closing the door, he kind of like walks up to the other person sitting on that black horse, who's now bending down, and they seem to be exchanging some words which you can't make out through the patter of the rain. And he kind of like the shape kind of looks back towards the house, turns the steed around and just gallops back into town, while the other soldier slowly with his torch makes his way up the road to the other residential houses on this particular hill.
I close the door.
I turn back to human. Or health.
You saw all of that, right, Tiala? You
she saw
witnessed
everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I was sitting next to you.
Okay.
I eavesdropped behind the door, so I probably heard most of the discussion too.
Yeah, if not, I'll just convey it to you.
Yeah, so I come out and say,
What did I magic again?
"What
Can't
magic?
remember.
When did
You
we
turned
use magic?"
into a snake. It's a huge ass snake. In the inn after after you went to the
Right.
Yes.
I remember.
Yes.
Well, that was one instance. Who knows what else happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
But I'm still wondering why they're looking as kingsmen on Dread Parish Isle.
Make a history check, Branwolf.
Oh, let me join because I know that shit.
Yeah.
Both of you make a history check.
Yeah, because I can't remember.
I think the king doesn't like magic, right?
Well, that's for sure. And they're slowly taking over the island, so to speak.
Yeah, but what the hell did we do? History. I'm not good in history. It's only an 11.
I got a 13.
13.
Even though I should know about this shit.
You do know that after the event that ushered in the Third Age, known as the Calamity, when magic was shunned from the world into the Fade, and also where it originally hailed from the Feywild, that the king itself initiated shortly after basically usurping the nations at this time and declaring an empire, which is nowadays known as the Rebellion Empire, which is in this Third Age been around for this is the year 193. So for 193 years this empire had established itself as the Rebellion Empire, And especially in the first few decades during this time, an event happened which is just known as like the Great Mage Hunts, where the king would send out often specialized mage hunters with specialized equipment, specialized training to hunt down the last remaining known sorcerers, wizards, anybody who is proficient with the arcane, to basically cut off any kind of magic users.
I'm guessing.
Is this?
Sorry, I'm guessing the what the hell, Black Knight, whatever the hell the dude in the back was. I'm guessing that was like the specialized mage slayer.
You know that the outfit of these these so-called mage hunters, what you remember from your history lessons, and also the odd books on history. They do often just usually wear these dark cowls with specialized armor and weapons as well that either halt or prevent magic. They are experts at detecting magical sources. It's in their name, mage hunters. They have several tools and also abilities. Apparently also they are magic wielders themselves. Basically in a kind of like licensed way to use it in the ways for the Empire, of course. But they would often be sent as envoys to wherever, when people have seen something unusual or rumors have been told about somebody displaying some sort of magic or some other arcane power. And that is also while often like these magical fae folk, like for example the wood elves, they have returned to the woods and kept to themselves. The Ghelfi, usually they often seek their fortune by certain kind of seers that live in exile somewhere far off from the clans as well. Also, that is why druids walk the forests and the land on their own as outlanders, and basically just the self-obsessed exile, whatever. Basically, they would just keep to themselves. But these mage hunters, they usually use this kind of these plain iron masks to also just hide their identity, and it's just kind of a recognitional feature. And they are they haven't been seen for around 150 years or so.
I was just wondering, you have these mage hunters that haven't been seen for 150 years. Mm-hmm. You got some moldy-ass king who's been around for 200 years. Is this still the same king? So he must be magic.
This is still the same king.
Then he must be magic, or a mage, or a warlock or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, what you know of the calamity itself was basically an event at the end of the Second Age. All of the great archmages came together after centuries of warfare and bloodshed and kingdoms rising and falling, and they, in their opinion, the only way to basically put an end to this is to shun magic from the world, because it's just a too powerful, uncontrollable force, and people are often not aware of their actions and what this magic can actually do. So they came together, shunned it away. But if you've listened to our introductory episode where all of this is explained, dear Brandwolf, but basically the short version is the king, the fate itself, where the magic has been banned to, one of these two realms, is full of demons, and demons love to make a pact. And as they opened the gate and shunned the magic in this great ritual, all of the archmages died except for one, who was called Atrox the Wise. And he made a final pact with the greatest demon of this age at the time, called Eli, who would have him as the only wielder of the arcane with unmeasurable power. and since then Atrox has been known as the Hooded King, as the only ruler in this age, and ushered in his third age, the Revelian Empire. And this basically where you are at right now, Dread Parish Isle, being like all this way from the Revelian like continent itself. They've been keeping pretty much to themselves, but especially in like the last 50 to 60 years or so, the king has been sending more envoys there, and this loyalist base has basically been established slowly among the folk of Saltmarsh and the other coastal towns there.
That's the thing. Why? Is there anything interesting here? Like, is it worth like settling here in this boring ass island?
It's probably what you guess not worth settling here, but with the like opening of the Dwarven Mine, for example, you're guessing they're basically here, one, for the resources, and also they are your best guess is with the current war going on to the south of Revelia with the Dragonborn army invading, is the need for like weapons, resources, and that's basically what has been driving more export from Saltmarsh as well, from minerals and other things back to Revelia. Yeah. And like the smuggling operation you found with Sam Ballet and his crew is just, at your guess, Blackwater, one of probably 100 small little businesses going on that are just prioritizing on the war effort on this other continent, trying to make their buck.
Of course.
Okay. So we have more or less brought this upon ourselves because we use magic here in Dread Parish Isle. So that's more or less
that's what you get for destroying an inn's furniture.
Yeah.
I did not destroy anything.
You rearranged it aggressively. Same shit. We're fucked.
To name it off the record and to take a picture which has nothing to do with D&D, we have the Emperor who has a few Sith Lords who's looking to kill all the Jedi.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Okay, so yeah.
Hey, the best ideas come from all the great minds, you know? It's all been done before.
Of course.
The first thing you have to learn as a good dungeon master, just steal shit from everybody.
I was about to say,
if it sounds good and works,
shameless for them to steal it from you. It's bizarre.
Yeah. I mean, I've written George Lucas a couple of times. Like, how could he?
What the hell?
Also, I've been trying to email Tolkien, but he just doesn't answer. You know?
Yeah. I mean, even the whole idea of the Darth Vader armor underneath a cowl. Come on. I mean, you can really overdo it. And then, used to be a Jedi. Oh, yeah. Okay, but that neither here nor there. Back to the plan. Well, we have to. Yeah.
I just want to add my 2 silver coins to this.
Please do.
Basically, I feel like we need to prioritize the whole hag Heartstone Hool situation first.
Yes.
This can wait, basically.
Yes.
I also think maybe they will be gone when we're back, if we're lucky, so...
Yeah, I just hope they don't do anything to old Falco. That they come and they say,
Fosco kind of turns in.
Or Fosco, yeah.
It might actually be a good idea for you to then maybe keep your heads down, maybe keep to the wilds.
Yeah, get
these
the
next
shit out of
couple
my
of
house.
days. Well, you always feel welcome, but if you're really going to help, if you're really going to help Alton, his mother, and my wife, then you can stay in here as long as you'd like. I'll pull some contacts to make sure that they don't find anything suspicious.
Do you know? Sorry, do you know that if the Empire is active in Burl, if they're as present there as they are here?
Well, they are very present in Saltmarsh and also partly in Seaton, since these two are the biggest coast towns on Dread Parish Isle. In Burrell, not so much. There's a small little outpost the Rangers use because the Rebellion Empire has placed a few Rangers, mostly patrolling the old coast road. But of course, you know, I mean, you can't remember, you've grown up here, but I remember in my youth those Burrell Rangers going, working for the Earl of Burrell over there. He, yeah, that's what he's called, the Earl of Burrell.
The Earl of Burrell.
He employed like the best of the best, and those were the only ones actually venturing deeper into the outskirts of the Dreadwood and keeping folk safe. That any on-marching dark monsters or whatever's in that foul would keep inside, or kept inside.
Okay. I think that will be our first step. Basically move to Burrell as fast as possible and maybe stock up there, prepare ourselves, try to get info.
Yeah, I don't think that what I was going to say. I don't think that they'll be coming back tonight, because it's, what is it? Probably late in the evening, almost. What time is it now?
Yeah, it's past
midnight.
It's past midnight already. It's
I
probably
don't think they'll be coming back.
Around 1 a.m.
They seem to be the kind of folk that like to look or stick to the dark, and maybe that's their way of doing things. But I think if we rest up, get a good night's sleep, sober up, and then have because Kader and Freon are out like lights. I just looked in there; they're snoring.
Yeah,
they're gone. So we probably should, after we rest up, and then head up with all of us, try to get to Burrell. Either with the help of a disguise spell, or if you think you know a good way around, trying to get not to go through town, but to.
Well, if you are trying to make your way all the way to Burrell, it's probably a 3-day journey or so, and I'm guessing as long as you stay on the old coast road, you shouldn't get lost too easily. I'm guessing you had no problems in the swamp as well.
No, I wonder if we should take a cart or something and, hide us in straw or something, and then those of us who
that's a pretty good idea. Hiding in plain sight, maybe doing something like a kind of... I could maybe prepare some wares. You're maybe merchants trying to sell off some medicine or whatever.
They don't seem to be looking for me, so I could probably dress up and make myself like maybe an older version of myself, or as a merchant.
Tell you what, I can give. I currently have a crate of around probably 10 or so potions of healing. With the war going on, they sell for a high price. You should probably be able to get 100 gold or so per bottle.
I'll give you 100 gold per bottle.
Well, that's the next thing, being thankful and all. If you have a little bit of coin for these, or at least we can also make it this way. I will give them to you now. If you actually distribute them in Burrell, I can give you some contacts here or there. Just give me a fraction of the price back and we'll call it even.
I would say we just use these as cover, as like disguise, just to make it.
Yes, that's what I was thinking, exactly.
But on top of that, I would say we use those for ourselves, because I feel we're gonna need them. So
I think so too. Fosco, how much were you hoping to make on these 10, on all 10 of them? I don't want you to lose money.
One bottle goes for around 50 gold a piece, but with the current war effort, these have been selling 100, if not more, per bottle.
Okay.
Even like selling them to the Kingsmen. They are becoming rarer and rarer, and me being the only supplier and brewer with Eleni, and seeing that Eleni won't be able to brew a few more of them up, and it's a lot of money as well.
Yes. Fosco, I have a lot of money. We just won a shitload of money. Yes, how much should I give you for thing? What do you want to think? I want to pay you for them. How we use them, something. I want to make sure that you have your share.
I'm going to give you this crate with 10 potions of healing for 800 gold, and you feel free to distribute them at whatever price you see fit.
Perfect. You know what?
A little bit of haggling should go a long way in these times.
Tiala, can you take my 800, which I
you don't have the sack
back?
With you.
I don't have the sack.
No, Flesky and Fudge took the sack of gold to the indecision.
Okay, one more.
Freon took his 800 out there.
No. Okay, good. No, wait a minute.
No, it's fine. I'm gonna write a letter to...
I owe you.
No, forget it. No, don't let it.
And I was gonna drop by in the morning anyway.
No, let me give the man his money. He needs his money.
It's not urgent or anything. No.
I'm rich. Let me see very fast. I just have to find one of my many loot pages here. Terribly.
Brandwolf, I don't want to step on your toes or anything, but a man with an inventory such as yours, you should be a little bit more subtle around in public that you're walking around with that much money, because there's shady folk here in Saltmarsh left and right.
So you know what? Here, I give him a bag. This is because I have 1,270 with me, and I have money at the thing. This is a bag full of 1,000 gold pieces. I want you to have that for all your help, for all the thing, because those potions of healing will help us much more than it'll help anyone else, and I want to make sure that you have for all your help. So I'm taking that off. So I'm giving him 1,000 gold pieces.
Thank you very much, good sir.
So I have
packets them, and you see he immediately goes into the back and comes back with this wooden crate with like a little cloth piece on top of it. You hear the cling, 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 cling as he like kind of lifts it onto the table, just chink it on there, and you see in there already gathering like a bit of dust. He's probably been holding on to them for a little while, given the situation.
So
but he puts them onto the table.
One crate with 10 potions of healing. Should I write something down? What kind of is it? The normal potions of healing?
10 normal potions of healing.
Yeah, so potions of healing.
What was that?
Okay.
2d4 plus something?
I think it's
2d4 plus 4, I believe.
2d4.
If I'm not mistaken.
Plus 4. Something like that. Because I have. Yeah. Okay, so I paid Dad.
You should maybe. I don't have a cart myself, but you should be able to find some in town. Maybe.
I
think cart will also. It won't slow you down, but you won't be able to gallop your way through to Burl. But still, it's probably a better cover.
The good thing is that we can depart fairly early tomorrow, even if the two.
Even if you still need to go to town.
Just throw them in the back and put hay on top of them.
That's why it's a good option.
And if we're really controlled, we just have to hope that they don't poke around with swords and hit somebody. If not, it'll be a fight. But
if they do, that's their fault.
Then it's their fault.
Yeah.
Self-defense. Yeah.
I mean, if you want to usually. I shouldn't even be telling you this, because this is from my earlier days when I was still a little bit in the smuggling business on the side. If you're able to like come up with some sort of, I don't know, fake documentational papers or something, that might help. At least usually these rangers, while they are skilled, those that, do some sort of inspections, they rather want to get things over with quickly. And they might not even read the whole thing.
Are you still skilled, or do you know anybody who has that skill?
No,
I know your son had a little bit of a talent, I believe, and weren't you?
I think that's Kader that was a bit.
Oh, Kader. Okay, well then we can have Kader Kader is a pretty good forger. Then we can forge something in the early morning. Okay, good idea. So, I think that's a pretty good plan. Yes.
I broke my thieves' tools. Do you know somebody who has thieves' tools or could repair them?
I don't think you shouldn't be appearing in town at this point.
Not really.
Let me see. If you... it's thieves' tools, you said.
Yep.
If you need a new set of them, go to Kester's Leather Goods and ask about Frederick.
The special deal.
And tell him that, tell him I sent you, and you should be fine.
It's like the Jamaican coffee special at Starbucks when you want to buy weed.
Exactly.
I want the Jamaican special mix. One moment, sir.
So yeah,
I think we can do.
Are you planning to? I mean, yeah, still going about like planning how to properly do this. You still might want to figure out how who goes into town or whatever.
That's the thing. I think,
or
again,
if you disguise yourself.
That's the thing. The first step is to go to Burl, so I guess we need the cart to go get the cart. Do we all need to join, or is it?
No.
Yeah, just Brown Wolf and I guess, is enough.
I would say the two of us, since we're not being looked for, we should get the cart.
And Tiala
should throw over some kind of disguise and go find out what Frederick has for her. And then we all meet back at the house, head up and head to Burl. But all of this we can only do in the morning, because now it's like 12 or 1 o'clock at night, and I don't think anybody's...
Yeah, you're already pretty exhausted from the night before.
So we definitely have to sleep, and then start all of this on the next day.
Yeah, I was about to ask, when do we plan to leave? Because I'm good with 4 hours of sleep, but I don't think if we want to leave early, it's not enough rest for you.
The shops don't open until like usually around 9 or 8 a.m.
So
there's a few odd fellows who even sleep in past 10.
Lazy bums.
So we don't want to leave super early.
We shouldn't. We can't. We need the cart.
We can't.
Also, it might look a bit suspicious on the road if you're...
Yeah, literally.
Well, nobody would see us. See, that's my point.
Yeah, an early merchant gets the coin, I guess. So
yeah, put it this way: I can rest on the road. I'm good. I should be no problem resting up, and I can kind of doze on the cart while we're playing. But if we should probably get the cart as early as we can. Then we wake up the other ones, tell them the plan, and then either while we're doing that, around 9ish or something, Tiala should go see Frederick, and then either we pick you up because you're in disguise. You can disguise yourself as a merchant woman or something.
Oh no, I can't.
You can't?
I'm just gonna go
you
and
can only do animals.
But I'm not gonna visit Frederick like tomorrow. I think I'm gonna do this when we are back.
You're not gonna worry about the thieves still. Even better.
No, it's not super urgent.
Okay. Or we could ask in Burl as well when we're there, because we're gonna stock up anyway.
Oh, perfect. Well, then what we have to do in the morning is get the cart. And you turn into a dog, lay on the back. We have to get the other two which are being searched for. Explain this to them and put them in the back of the cart.
But do we want to get horses as well? I think it might be faster.
Well, of course.
Who's going to
not only one for the cart, but only for
I meant the cart. I meant the cart with horses, and I think.
Yeah, no, I meant horses for us, so we are faster
I thought
than
Brown
walking.
Wolf was going to pull the cart.
Yeah. If you're going by horse, what you would usually do is properly ride it. Gallop it as far as it can take you, go a bit at a slower pace to not power it out. But if you're going by cart, it would be the same as you just walking along it, because the horse has to pull wares.
Okay.
So unless we want to like scout ahead, which doesn't really make a lot of sense.
And it also depends on what kind of cart you're buying. If it's just like a single horse cart, 2 wheels on each side, small enough for a small thing, or if you're buying like a, build your own cart, do a proper cart, 2 horses or oxen, and put a tent atop it and go the Oregon Trail,
No, that's overkill. I think 2 horses, it has to be enough to carry 2 people laying down and cover them. That's the thing. That's the big thing.
So Tiala is quite correct. I mean, when it comes to that, Branwolf was in a slave pit, and for years and years, pushing what do you call them? Flower stones and things like that. I could probably carry the damn thing, strap it to me, and walk.
It makes no sense.
With it, but it probably wouldn't make sense.
No.
We're trying to disguise ourselves, so we should get 2 horses.
That would look ridiculous. Especially because if you dress up as a merchant and pull your own cart, that's completely
Have Branwolf pulling it as the horse.
As a horse.
Only if you do the noises. Then
put a disguise spell on me, farting all the time.
No, okay.
No. Then let's do that in the morning. Let's get a cart and horses.
We get one big enough to carry 4 people, and we're fine.
And then we're good.
The only thing I'm worrying about is, are we fast enough if we're by foot? I was hoping that we could take horses so we're a little faster, because 3 days.
I mean, you can also push. I mean, this is like 3 days is, the usual bad fortune, calculated in. Usually, if you have bad weather, it's partly a trek through the swamps on the way there. If somebody's way late or whatever, 3 days is a pretty good guess.
Put it this way: once we get the burl, once we take care of the hag, hopefully get to the Heartstone, and then we can still in burl get horses and gallop back to be on top.
Fosco also.
Well, 1 second. The whole blood moon thing. It's basically that when the blood moon happens is when the people are basically summoned by the hag to join her. If she's dead by that point, it doesn't matter.
You're absolutely correct.
Yeah, Fosco also chimes in.
Okay.
Yes, that's basically what Eleni also told me. However, Are you really certain you are powerful to kill an ancient hag?
I'm also not sure about that. That's why I might think it's better to be back before those 7 days,
Well, but okay, in that case we have to clarify, are we gonna kill her or are we gonna make a deal with her?
I don't think we make
don't
a
have to
deal.
Want you make too many
to
deals, Alton? You heard your mother.
No, I know. The deal, not any deal. Just the deal that you or actually mother.
Please just see to it that no other people are hurt. And hags usually, the problem is hags love to, especially this one, what Eleni told me, she loves to deal in loss and pain and also misery itself. That's what hags do. That's what they cause.
And I don't think we can probably steal the Heartstone.
You should. I mean, you have enough time to get there, but you should think of a way, or at least a plan, or maybe 2, or maybe 3.
It depends on what we want to do.
We kidnap children and sell them to her for the Heartstone.
I like that. As long as they're from the Empire, that's fun.
Yes. Or we kidnap...
This is getting a bit too dire for my taste. I will retire if that's fine with you, and
we should
see
also.
you in the morning. I assume before you leave. Good night.
Good night, Fosco. Thanks for your help.
And he makes his way. He kind of pops into Eleni for a bit, and then goes out and heads up the stairs to what seems to be another master bedroom further up.
Oh, the bell's chiming, so it's time to go to bed.
Yeah.
We'll probably hear the night watchman coming through.
Nah, that's just Father Joshua over at the temple trying to get more in for his sermon. He usually does by himself. He's been moving those sessions to 2 o'clock in the night
in the morning
because he's hoping to get more people in that way. Because at the day nobody's coming to worship Mother Marissa.
After the drinking sessions, everyone goes to the church.
Yep, usually that's when the few drunkards he can pick up and get some gold pieces from, hopefully, for donations to the Church of the Mother.
Love it. I would say we go to sleep. I feel like we've discussed everything we can.
Because we still have no idea. We can
talk about it over breakfast.
We can talk about this with the other ones then. When we get up in the morning.
Definitely.
And I would also say to shorten things off, it's probably best to plan this, and then on the way we can probably find out what are we going to do. Are we going to take her? Are we going to take her head on? Are we going to try to sneak? I've remember that you have to take a hag straight on, an ancient being. The only thing you can do is try to surprise someone like that or something like that. And how do you surprise an ancient being? It's very hard. So we're gonna have to find out what to do.
What level are you guys?
At the moment, I'm level 6, hoping that all this adventurous talk might help me level up soon.
Yeah, you're definitely going to be leveling up until next session because you're only missing a few XP in your case. But I think the rest recently just leveled up. Yeah. And I think you should all be 7 and 6 right now. I think Kader and Blackwater are 6.
Yeah, I am 6. Yeah. I am 6 at the moment, and when I level up, I'll be 7.
Okay, I just wanted to hear all of you say it out loud so we have this on recording.
What level is the hag?
Yeah, what level is the hag?
I don't know.
Hey, come on. Transparency.
10,000.
Yeah, probably.
You'll find out when you get there.
I'll ask her when we arrive.
Maybe.
Hey,
you know what?
What CR rating are you?
Yeah. You know what? It's probably just an old lady where legends and legends have spun around this poor old lady living in a shack, like the Knusperhäuschen, the witch from Hansel and Gretel. The poor old lady who probably never did anything wrong, and now we got these adventurers coming to brain her.
Hey, at least
get off my land.
Solved. Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, you never know. Well, I guess it's time to retire to bed.
Indeed.
And I believe then this will also be time to retire the episode because we need the other ones to continue.
Yeah, that's the thing.
No, we can still play a little bit.
Or should we go get the cards while they're still...
Yeah,
there's a few things that while they are still sleeping.
That's the idea. Yes, yeah, that's the idea. Okay, then magically, whoosh, we're all rested.
All of you go to bed. Tiala.
Yes.
As you bed down into your trance, you have this weird, very weird kind of dream. You see the Dreadwood again, which you now have often dreamt about these last few nights as well. The last few times when the Hool Fever struck you. You're rushing through these dark, almost like this dark forest, leafless trees. You see pine trees here and there that kind of like twist and turn in their appearance. Instead of growing straight up, they kind of twist and turn sideways, having several branches that almost look like roots that kind of come out, almost like claws out of the ground. You rush through things swiping by in your periphery, and you come to what looks to be almost like a lake of some sort. You see this little river between the tree lines that kind of like end on this lake. The lake itself is of a very dark, almost like this vast blackness, this vast black, almost thick in its appearance, this thick liquid that's just bubbling here and there, almost like tar. It looks kind of like tar looking. You see in the middle of this lake where the trees, they kind of like grow around it, almost like this big dome, these roots that stretch outward into, as you look up a starless sky, you see far atop this red glowing orb, this red blood moon, just causing this eerie kind of lighting on the whole scene. And you see in the middle of the lake, there's this little, at first you think it's an island, but it's actually not. It's just this single spire of several of these darkened, dried roots that merge together, twist in their appearance, and kind of like claw out again, giving this weird architecture of, as you now can see, what looks to be like a building or a hut of some sort. There's a little opening in the end. Out of this opening, almost as you watch this, you're being kind of like in between, hidden behind a tree on the sides of this lake. Looking at, you see almost like a spider crawling out this bleak, whitish figure, almost naked in its appearance, with you're not sure if it's like growths or these kind of like bones, like you see these spines, almost like spine-looking bones around, like wrapped around, almost in like a decorational way on her body, but skin that is like stretched over it. You see the face that comes to this sharp point. You see no eyes, no real mouth beneath it. The back of the head, also the spiny looking chaos of small little like almost finger like roots sticking out in the back. This being slowly crawling in this weird but quickly fashion into the lake, and just with the bare body kind of like laying inside, looking up to the moon. You see almost something that looks like pus or mucus that kind of like drops from her body into this lake, and she kind of like smears this black tar-like substance across the naked body. And you then, as you begin to watch this being bathe, almost, that's the best word you can describe it, you see like from the profile this pointy, disgusting head suddenly rush around towards you, and immediately it just like rushes up towards you, right at the tree where you're standing at. The clawed finger slowly, kind of like almost slowly like streaking with one finger across your cheek, and just this voice emanating in your head saying, "I see you." And immediately you come back awake. You see the sunlight is already flooding into the room as you wake up from your trance, rested but shocked from the dream, or was it a vision you just had?
Holy shit.
You're sick, DM. You know that?
I'm glad I didn't drink last night.
My God, I can't believe you're my son.
See what you did?
Jeez.
That's probably your fault somehow.
I got chills. My Lord. What a fantasy.
Yeah,
what an
fine.
imagination.
Yeah, I didn't
What
need
an
to sleep
imagination.
tonight.
Wow. I'm not gonna sleep tonight. Never. Jeez.
So
Terrible.
yeah, the next morning begins. Where are you guys? What are you doing? You gather back down in the.
Fosco said something. Didn't your dad say where we can pick up a? He mentioned something, or he thinks
Yeah, you see Fosco currently, he's getting some tools together and like medicinal equipment, kind of like cleaning a little bit of stuff.
Morning, Fosco. Where do you think's the best place for us to get a cart that we need, and And maybe the horses that go with it.
A cart, you say? Well, there's a few things. How about you try it over at the Prime Stallion? It's a small little shop up the road from the docks. I think Blackwater, you should be able to find it, Alton.
Yeah, I've been there.
Sure. Okay, Alton, show us the way. We'll
go
head
there
out.
and ask for the shopkeep Tordek Punts. He's a small little old dwarf he usually has a pretty good breed, which he also likes to export every now and then, and usually also the Kingsmen come to him whenever they need something for patrolling the roads. I'm sure he has maybe some old cart lying around which he'll be able to get for some easy money.
Yeah. Tiala, are you going to come with us, or are you going to stay here and fill in the other ones when they wake up?
No, I'm coming with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I also wrote this letter for Flesky, telling him how to give me my money and stuff.
Okay, good.
Okay, what exactly do you... Well, yeah, first of all, what do you write in the letter? What's it about? Just like, you want to drop it off at the Indecision where it's docked, or what's the plan?
Yes, I'm gonna.
We're gonna have to
dog.
tell. We have to
Oh,
tell.
you're going to bring it as a dog. That's basically you're going to disguise. That was the second question. You're going to disguise yourself as a dog and run along.
Yeah.
And
all right.
Just basically tell Flesky to give me my money, the money of Branwolf, Kader. Freon already took his, I think.
Yeah.
And to keep what he owes the crew, basically.
All right.
Well, they must have made a shit. They must have made a shitload of gambling because they gambled. I mean, the crew must be a bunch of happy campers because they. There was thousands going around. Oh, put 500 on him, and so they Flesky was more than happy. So definitely, I mean, we get our money's worth back. I guess we didn't win anything, so. But the main thing is also, did you write in that letter what our plans are? Because if we're going to be leaving town for a week.
Oh yeah, I can do that as well. And
yes, because the
PS
indecision.
Don't gamble anymore.
Yes, PS don't gamble anymore.
Or I will eat you.
And let them know that, because the crew is probably going to get restless after about a week. I don't know, Blackwater. Should we go down there and have a talk with them? Or?
No, we don't have any time. I think the letter is going to be enough, and I feel like the money is going to be enough for them.
I think so too.
Stay
yes,
happy for
because they
go
gamble.
crazy for a week, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Go crazy for a week. You have a week's leave. You have enough money. You made enough money.
We lost the ship, the money, and everything else while you were gone.
Yeah.
Sold off the estate.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything's gone.
Your father's homeless. The Indecision is gone. Grushuk took everything with him.
And the turtle and our turtle friend doesn't have a peg leg anymore because he had a hawk it for food. He doesn't even have a leg anymore. Okay, no.
While you're talking amongst yourself, Fosco comes back in. Oh, Walton, it seems you've gotten a letter of some Anders Solmore, it appears.
I did? I didn't even talk to him.
It's addressed to Alton Blackwater.
All right.
That's how it... not Blackwater, Blackbrew, sorry.
Yeah,
that's how it found its way to the estate.
I would hope so. Yeah, I read it.
You open it up. It seems to be it's very brief. Signed by Anders Solmore, who again thanks the Undecided for the work they've done on the haunted house, and that they are invited to appear on any of the council meetings whenever it fits their timetable to discuss how to further proceed with this smuggling operation you guys found.
I think this can
At
wait.
your earliest convenience.
Yeah, I think this
Yeah.
can
Is
wait,
what it
right,
says
guys?
in the letter.
Of course, they still owe us money.
Yeah,
Old
because
Wave Chaser was down there gambling and drinking. He didn't pay it. Little fuck didn't even pay us.
True.
So yeah.
Was that part
No,
of the?
they can-
it doesn't
they
matter.
can wait.
I don't
Yeah,
care
well,
about
yeah,
that.
no, we got our reward, but Wave Chaser said he put in a little bit extra, but I think he took that extra as his and put it towards the drinking.
That's
game.
what you get for making deals with the fucking Empire or
I
Empire-related
know.
people. So,
Fuck the Empire.
so
Okay, then
yeah.
let's go get a cot.
Yeah. I think we'll head out.
All right. So you make your way. Do you split up or all go together? Make your
No,
way to.
I mean,
Well, we have a
Prime
dog with
Stallion
us.
first.
Yeah, Branwolf and I gonna go to the shop, Mr. Puntz's shop, and I think Tiala is gonna go to the Indecision. Was it?
Yeah.
I will meet you somewhere.
Well, yeah, meet back at the estate, I guess.
No, because the estate, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, Tiala, easy enough. You make your way through the very busy salt marsh at this moment. You, especially when you come to the docks, you see there's like many ships that are already beginning either unloading stuff they brought in from last night still are being loaded currently. There's a few that are making their way out to the sea, to distant shores and unknown horizons. You find the Indecision as you've left it. As you walk up, you see kind of like Fudge standing on this big like gangplank like ramp to the side, and you see he looks at you, kind of squints a little bit. That's mighty interesting, girl. And kind of steps to the side to let you pass. And you walk up. You see Flesky currently standing on deck with kind of a spying glass looking out the waves. Currently doesn't see you. He's standing just looking outward.
Woof woof.
As you bark, he looks to the side. Aye, is it you, girl?
Woof.
And he kind of like pets you on the head and then sees that you have like this letter, I'm assuming like tied somewhere on a
Yep.
collar or something to the side, and he opens it up, reads it. Oh, aye.
Can he even
All
read?
right. Fritz, get the money here, you scallywag. And immediately you see Fritz kind of like lumping this big sack with his one arm up to the side, and he gives you the 800 that each were missing. And did you specify like how much it was exactly in the letter?
1, 2,
I
3, 4.
basically want him to keep everything that he owes the crew
Okay.
and just maybe a little bit extra, but give me the rest.
Give the rest back.
Okay.
yeah.
So you can write
Freon,
down.
Yeah, Freon has his.
Yeah.
So
You can write down 5,200 gold pieces.
How the hell are you
which
gonna
he's
carry that
giving
as a
you.
dog? Just drag the bag through town.
It's platinum.
Yes, I can
it's
take it with
platinum
my
coins
mouth.
as well.
yeah,
Sure.
a lot of
So,
platinum coins.
It's
like a,
it's 520 platinum to be exact.
they're very thin,
Very thin, yes.
they're
They're
very
like
thin.
bed mints.
very light.
And he
like,
kind of like reads the last parts, Flesky, and goes, "Oh, so you're leaving us, all right? Well, we'll keep an eye on Salt Marsh, don't you worry. And you take good care of yourselves."
Read the PS, motherfucker. Read the back part.
He kind of flips it, and the back part, he looks at it. "Oh yeah, don't you worry, lass. I'm not gonna do anything with the money. It'll still be here waiting for you. I'm gonna divvy it amongst the crew as we've promised."
Woof.
Fuck.
Okay, you head back to the others then. make your way running through the docks. Blackwater, Branwolf, you also make your way to more directed towards what looks to be like the old like town wall, which is like it's just like remnants of it crumbled in parts. The last big standing bit are like the gates, but it's just the archway where you see there's like two of not Kingsmen, but just of like the local town guard, especially like older. There's like two older sentries posted there who are just like talking to each other on the side, not really paying attention who's coming in and out. There are not many people leaving the town, and at least those few who are seem to be going more of like in the southern direction, taking the Old Coast Road down to the south towards Seaton and not the Burl direction. You do see next to it there's like this pretty like small, cozy, like not ramshack, but yeah, cozy building with like a thatched roof and a stable to the side. There's this old little dwarf currently going through some leather harnesses, where you see like he's currently like bare-chested, but has this brown older leather vest atop, and it has like this gray. What you're guessing, like there's bits and pieces of still a little bit of red in his long beard, and yeah, he looks up as you approach. Aye.
I'll let you do the talking since you know the townsfolk. Probably know more about the townsfolk and everything, Alton.
He kind of takes this. There's this big like what looks like a water or wineskin to the side, which he drinks from.
Good morning, Mr. Punts.
Good morning, whoever you are. Mr. Coin?
Black Brew. I'm sure you've heard of the name.
Yeah, I think so. Fancy estate up the road, right?
Yeah, you must have been sick, like, during your life someday. You probably met my father. We are looking for a couple of horses and a cart. Would you happen to have these?
Listen here, you little shit. Don't go waltzing around throwing the Black Brew name in my face just because I went up there once for a cold. But yes, I've got horses and carts. Is there anything specific you're looking for?
Merchant equipment, basically.
Oh, are you a merchant now?
What do you care? You just want the coin.
I kind of lean down towards him, building me up to my old stature, and saying, "Can we kind of change our attitude here? Because I'm willing to drop a lot of coin for this, and we don't need, to have this kind of attitude towards Mr. Blackbrew here."
Where do you hail from, tall man?
From worlds that you will never have seen and hope you never will see.
Mm-hmm.
I am a Ghelfi.
Who's your favorite council member?
Aaron Wave Chaser.
No, Wave Chaser. He's not in the council, but I've heard that name before.
He's a
but
man
you're
of
obviously
honor.
not from around here.
Of course not. I was invited here.
Are you
to fight for your cause?
Are you a cause? Are you with the loyalists, or are
Nope. I am a man of sword and a man of coin. That means that I can be bought, but I also like to spend a lot. So
I like the sound of that. See, that's how you introduce yourself, Mr. Black Brew.
So can you help us now? Like I said, we have good coin to drop.
Aye, what you need?
Well, like Mr. Blackbrew just said, we need a cart. The merchants, and we're going to bring on a mission, and we need to have a merchant's cart for merchants' wear. At the same time, we also need some good horses that'll be able to take maybe a good 2 to 3 day stretch.
Well, I have, if you're looking for the smaller cart for one horse, I have one in the back, which hasn't seen much use, and it's pretty sturdy. If you're looking for something bigger, I have another one, It's
I
gotten a
think-
little bit of rot from the salty air here, but it should hold up fine, which is enough for 2 horses in the front.
I think that sounds good. Even if we'll have a look at the rot and probably since my friend Mr. Captain Blackwater here probably knows more about rot than I do. If you want to have a look at that and see if that can be mained or fixed.
Anything else available?
What you need? I have some tack for the horses and bits and girdles, whatever. I don't know, are you planning to saddle them as well? Are you riding them, or are they just usually, are they going to pull the cart and nothing else?
I mean, we're not going to be pulling the cart ourselves, so...
Need saddlebags?
You know
Got
what?
some saddlebags as well?
Let's make this worth your while. How much would... Get wild with me. For saddlebags, for bridles, for the horse, for your cart...
Well, let's see.
Maybe a few empty crates, which make look like a merchant cart, a blanket to throw over it, everything. What would you say? What would you be asking for that? Give me a good price.
All in all,
If
the saddle isn't too expensive, I don't have anything exotic currently.
Not necessary. Like I said, we are merchants.
I'd say, probably 72 gold pieces for everything. That should get you outfitted.
That's good. You know what? My good man, here's 100 gold pieces. If you have anything which makes
I'll
it
throw
look...
in some feed for that, good
There
sir.
you go. I wanted to fill up that cart with feed. We're going to probably... Do you have any extra hay? Put hay on there so that would think...
Oh, I have a bunch of stuff in the back which I could use. I have some clean feed and hay
I like
in the
that.
back.
Feed, hay, put in a couple
You see him already like kind of starting to like outfit the crate. And going, and within the next like 10 minutes or so, he kind of like finishes everything. He also goes around the back, and after another like 10 minutes or so go by, he comes back with 2 what look to be like there's a brown and there's a black horse. They look sturdy, but nothing too special. See, he comes around and says, "Here, look at those 2 gentlemen. This is Arvik and this is Bertrand. Both of them have been with me for quite a while, and if you're looking for sturdy horses, they're your best pick."
Perfect. Arvik and Bertrand look good. I like that. No, look fine. It's no. Do we have to pack any extra? I mean, I'm not that big of a carpenter. Should we pack an extra wagon wheel or something just in case something happens on the way?
That might be a good idea. I mean, the ground's rough outside.
Yeah, throw one of those on there too. Like you said, you can fill up the cart because it's
he's putting in another wagon wheel and also like a few essential tools.
All the crap that he doesn't want to give us. Hey, I got 100 gold pieces.
You see,
give him all this crap.
There's like one crate he also just
Empty
puts
bags.
in, which he swears is empty.
Put the trash in it, probably. Who cares?
See, don't mind me asking, but where are you folks heading?
Oh, now that be a question which will be worth more than 100 gold pieces.
Well, I'm just saying, if you're heading inland, I have a few friends that are awaiting a certain package, and if it would find its way maybe all the way to Burl, then road hasn't been traveled that much recently. I'm willing to pay good money for that package to arrive.
I'm looking over this. The Blackwater.
Make it 100 gold and we'll consider it.
I just gave him 100 gold. I don't think that he wants to part with that.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm not trying to persuade him.
It's your suggestion.
I'm just denying his fucking proposal.
He just got his nose out of joint because his family wasn't thinking.
Well, tell you what, I can give you 40 gold right now, and I'll give you the other 60 either when you return or if as soon as I hear word that the package has arrived safely.
Ranwolf?
Yeah, you know what? It's easier. I don't do good with numbers, as my people know. Let's do 50-50, okay? Because 450 now, 50 later, that should work out fine, okay? So just count out the thing. I gave you 100, count out the thing. There you go. It's very easy because they're Latin.
Make a persuasion check.
Easily. Oh, finally get to persuasion. Oh, let's see. 15. What's my persuasion? I have... Oh, yes, I'm big persuader. 16.
16.
Right.
He kind of like shakes his beard a bit, scratches his chin. Aye, sure, why not? 50
Of
now,
course.
50 upon your return,
Yeah.
or once I receive word.
Of
And
course.
he comes back to you with this, looks like wrapped in several layers of some sort of like paper, with some so some kind of like stuff tied around just to keep it all together.
Yeah.
And he hands it to you, Brandwolf.
Is this fragile? Do we have to watch out that it doesn't fall
It's
or
not
something?
fragile, but don't get it wet, please.
Not wet. Okay,
Yes, and don't like burn it or anything, you know?
good. No. So just keep it dry.
And keep it closed as well, because it's none of your business.
Oh, of course.
But that goes without saying.
Of course. 26 gold extra that I gave you should show you that I'm a gentleman of my word. And
I
a
will
very
see
good
to
one.
that once the package arrives, but sure.
Who do we
Of
deliver
course.
this
This...
Yes, exactly. Who do
need
we
a
have to
name.
deliver it to?
Aye.
Where do we go to?
Go to Burl and ask around for a fella called Dane.
Dane.
Dain.
D-A-N.
Just Dane.
Just Dane.
In Burl.
Alright. Wait.
Tell him you have a package from Tordek.
Package from Tordek. Okay. Okay, sounds like a winner. We probably won't be back for about, give us about almost a week because
Aye, sure. I mean,
to
either
get
you
the
return
Burl-
or once I receive word by Raven or so that the package
That's an
has
idea.
arrived, I'll
That's
have
good,
the gold waiting for you here in either case.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a pleasure doing business with you, fine folks.
Okay, anytime.
Mr.
If you-
Blackwater.
If you get the Raven on time, feel free to drop the gold off at the Black Brew residence because that's where we will be staying when we come back.
All right.
Okay. So we get up on our cart and I tell Arvik, Bertrand, here you go. I got some apples waiting for you at the house. Let's head up to the Branton, the Black Brew estate.
All right.
We'll meet. Hopefully
Is there
meet up.
anything else you wanted to purchase before?
I'm trying to think. Do we need any food or anything? But probably we can't pack up for
I
your
think
folks' house.
Tiala and I kind of stocked up on rations before even the drinking
I did.
session, so
I did too. Yes.
I think
We
we
have
should
the
be
cr-
fine.
You have the crate of the house with the potions of healing. We have all kinds of feed. We have hay and blankets to hide the other ones.
Yeah.
We should be good. I also stocked up on rations the last time. I think I'm at 10 rations at the moment. Yeah.
I think we're fine.
We
Just
should
have to
be
get
good.
Just have to get the rest of the crew.
Okay, so that's what we do. So I'd say we head up to the house and
Right.
meet up with the rest.
So yeah, you pull up the cart, and as you prepare the cart and everything, head back into the house to discuss the last few details with our other two friends, Frion and Kader. This is, I believe, where we will end tonight's episode.
Yes.
So you can continue next session with how you want to pursue your quest further.
Yes.
I mean, some interesting stuff going on.
There is, yes. Very
Especially
interesting.
what are you guys gonna how you are going to go about this. I'm eager to see.
Yeah.
I'm curious about Freyon's input on the hag. I'm
Yeah,
sure that he
I'm
knows
very-
more.
He probably will.
True, yeah.
And especially, I'm probably going to see how he's going to feel like hiding. He doesn't like to hide. Put it this way, we probably only have to hide once we're out of town. And
Yeah.
And then, because everything else is probably, but we'll check on that, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so this is the... You got,
All
a
right,
name?
so-
You got a name for the episode yet? Carts
No, not yet.
Carts,
I always-
soldiers, and things that go bump in the night?
We will see.
Okay.
Beautiful.
Yep. So, for recalling, Tiala, you and the other two had the same dream.
Oh. okay.
Again, the other two had the same kind of dreamlike vision. So yeah, we will see where this will take us next week. Thank you guys for playing. Thank everybody else for watching our first ever live stream, or the video on demand, or the listening to the podcast episode. As always, if you want to help us out, use one of the many discount links found on our show notes. This episode will be up on the weekend. Or you can also simply, which helps us out the most, go to iTunes and leave a simple review. Tell us what you liked, what you haven't. Also, we're still collecting questions for our first ever Q&A session, which will be held by the wonderful Jake the DM, together the first guests being Branwolf and myself, the DM. So if you have any questions about either Branwolf as a character, or me and DMing, or the world, or how I'm prepping these sessions for a crazy chaotic bunch such as these fine folks, then let us know. Hit us up on social media. We'll be sure to gather the questions and answer them all then and there, and then we'll see when that little Q&A, that first Q&A episode will air, and if you people like it, we might do more. We'll see. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed everything so far. And yeah, the video on demand will be up on the coming weekend. And other than that, we will hopefully see you all next week for next week's stream. Then again, not on a Tuesday, but on a Wednesday. Was a single time we did this on a Tuesday due to like scheduling reasons. But yeah, usually we will live stream and record on Wednesdays, and the podcast episode and the video on demand with the podcast audio will then be on YouTube as well on the weekend. So yep, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We love you guys. Thank you guys for playing.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you
Hi.
for everything.
More action next time.
Hi, we will see. Oh, so much stuff that can go wrong with the carts on
Oh, God.
pulling stuff through the marsh, and so many fine things.
Oh, God.
And then everybody dies, and why? Because the barbarian was bored. That's
Okay,
why.
maybe I'll just become a merchant and stay it that way.
Hey, if the gold's better, who knows?
You never know. So I've been all the good night, and thanks for listening, and thanks for having us, DM.
All right. See you next week, folks. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Bye.